All righty. Boom, 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 boom. I think we are ready to rock and roll. The notifications are going out. Ace, I think I see you in there. Looks like my mic's reading. You got mic tone. We got good sound. See if I can't. There we go. Turn that. There we go. Yeah, I think we're gonna be all right. Man, I'm doing good, Ace Edits. I am doing good. Life is good. Blessed, brother. Doing great. Trying to find a time that works for everybody. Hey, Jessica. Good to see you there. Hello, hello. Jessica, where you from? Where you from? I have a very bad memory of memorizing where everybody's from. Trying to find a time that works for everybody. Last live we did, unfortunately, a lot of our viewers and friends were across the pond and they were in sleep. Jessica, so you're in the UK. Wonderful, wonderful. Mariel, England. Okay, so we've got Sam Woolley. Welcome. Doing good, Sam. Thanks for asking. I hope you're doing good. Sam, where are you from? Let me know where y'all are from. Let me know where y'all are from. I'd really like to know. Danny says never been this early to a live before. Yeah, man, there's a lot of folks I follow, and a lot of times I miss the live sessions just because life happens. It does. Almost 3 p.m., Jessica. Okay. All right. For whatever reason, I thought y'all were 8 hours ahead of me, but not quite eight. So if it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, so about 6 hours. Okay. My wife was right. She'll be glad to hear that she was right and I was wrong. She'd been to Ireland a couple years ago and said, I'm pretty sure they're 6 hours ahead. Mercedes is in the chat. Welcome, Mercedes. Let me know where you're from. Megan Stanley, hello. I'm glad you could make it too, Megan. And Random Andy, welcome, Random Andy's channel, one of my mods. Good to have you here, brother, man. Glad you can make it. I know it's a bit early for my friends here in America. So Sam's from Southern UK. Yes, Jessica, thank you. Congrats on the 3,000. I don't know if we deserve it, but it's certainly appreciated. We've certainly been working hard. And wow, it's amazing how quickly that happened from 2000. It wasn't even a few weeks ago. We had just hit 2 and we're celebrating that. And now here we are celebrating 3. So that was quite a surprise. Quite a surprise. All right. Oh, Cackleona Griffin, West Coast, USA, Insomniac. I hear you, brother. I used to live in California, so I know all about the West Coast. Good old San Diego. Argentina. Nice, Mercedes. Argentina. Got a couple friends from down there. I haven't seen in about 10 years, but wonderful, wonderful people. Yes, Jessica, the wife is always right. Happy wife, happy life. That is the secret, gentlemen. If you're listening, that's the secret. John Bell is in the chat. The man that started the whole franchise, the one that I talked to, my best friend of over 26 years, and said, hey, why don't we videotape you and duct tape you to a couch, make you watch Star Wars, and let's go. All right. So ridiculous Ed Tollett. Man, I could never say your name anymore without in my mind saying ridiculous instead of ridiculous, just because of the whole Harry Potter thing. Oh, head out to work. So Ed, hey man, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I know life goes on. We got to work. I hate that you got to work today, but brother, man, it's good to see you. Stuart Esmond's in the chat. Welcome, Stuart, from the UK also. Man, I'm glad to hear there's a lot of folks from across the Atlantic. That's why I picked this time. Made sure I planned with the wife this morning. We got the kids up early, already got breakfast in them. They're out watching some Sesame Street or something. And I figured I'd get back here and hang out with some folks for a little bit. Ace Edits. Yep, Ace was the first one in the chat this morning. Kat Webb. Hello, Kat. So y'all, Kat is one of my newest moderators. Had a cool chat with her. She is totally been a really big supporter from day one on the Harry Potter stuff and has followed us and contributed and just really been a huge help. So I reached out to her and she graciously consented to help us moderate the channel along with Andy and Mark and another Patrick and Darth Billiam. And it's good to have that support. So Sweden, oh my goodness, we've got someone here from Sweden, 28219P. Amsterdam. This is amazing. And I got another pack from Germany. Nice. Der Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Good. And your neck of the woods. What is it? Oppen now? Are we in the evening? And I cannot read this name in Korean, but that name says congrats. I know it's Korean, but I can't read it. But yeah, thank you for the congratulations. And we've got Spider Girl's mama sitting in here again. Thank you for the congrats. Darjeeling's in now. Darjeeling, I've got to ask you. I am curious. My kids were watching. What was it? Toy Story, where Buzz Lightyear loses his arm and he's like having the fake tea party and he's having a nervous breakdown and he said something about here you are sipping Darjeeling in the backside of the universe. Is that where you got that name from? I'm just curious. I'm very curious. And Zara says congrats. Thank you, Zara. Europeans are in the chat. That was the whole point of this. I do not want to leave out my European friends, my Eastern Hemisphere friends. I mean, is it really the Eastern Hemisphere? I mean, couldn't I be considered the Eastern Hemisphere? Maybe y'all are. I mean, just the way we look at the map, it's just half the globe. I don't know. I don't want to claim that I'm West or East or whatever. I'm going off on a tangent. Greetings from South Africa. Oh my goodness. Rhino Opperman, South Africa. Everybody's from everywhere. 4 p.m. in Germany, Cologne. Yep. And we've got Perkio Banks in the chat. UNC from UNC. All right. And Eddie Stewart. Hey, y'all, say hi to Eddie Stewart. That is my father, AKA Stu Squid, Navy veteran. Awesome dude. Loves him some Harry Potter. And IT. Now, IT, special thanks for IT being here today. Ibrahima Traor, congratulations, he says. IT's been with me since the Star Wars days when we started this thing over a year ago. IT is pretty cool dude. Alex Taylor from London. I'm not going to try to attempt that accent and make myself look like the stupid American. So Darjeeling, I actually love tea, and I use this year on a lot of sites as UN. And as I said, my RN is sort of hard to pronounce for English speaking. So Darjeeling am I correct in saying your first name is Ute? Correct? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Oh yeah, UNC represented. Got to say, Megan's got to jump in and say hello. All right. Oh, and thanks, Zara. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm, helps grow the channel. Dad, you got a hi from Spider Girl's mama. I don't know who Spider Girl's mama is, but evidently she's the mama Spider Girl. Oh, and Danny found your channel through Harry Potter. Have you been to the Universal's Wizarding World? I have not. That is something that I think it's very expensive. One of my really good friends went and they spent about $6,000. I was like, I ain't got that kind of money. But I think we're gonna wait till the kids are a little bit older. John's got kids. I've got kids, and they're very little itty bitty. They can't even get on the rides because they're little itty bitty. Jason got one that's already full grown. He started before we did, but I think we're gonna wait till the kids are a bit older, and we're gonna do the whole experience. I do want to make sure the guys get the Star Wars experience because that's what introduced them to the whole nerddom with Star Wars, and we definitely want to do the Wizarding World. I'm curious as to which one they'll have more fun with, but I'm telling you, I talked about this in the last live. As huge of a Star Wars fan as I am, and you guys know I'm a huge Star Wars fan because I got the Vader right there. But as huge as a Star Wars fan as I am, I'm really becoming more of a Harry Potter fan just because I love the fans of Harry Potter. I love the community. I love the discussions. I love the inclusivity. I love it all. It's just daggum fun. I love Star Wars, but I hate Star Wars fans. Golly. So one of my buddies sent me a meme that I absolutely loved. Let's see if I've still got it saved. And it says, brothers and sisters are natural enemies, like Star Wars fans and Star Trek, or Star Wars fans and Lord of the Ring fans, or Star Wars fans and Harry Potter fans, or Star Wars fans and Star Wars fans. Dang it, Star Wars fans ruin Star Wars. And that is pretty darn accurate. All right. Catch up on the chat. We got Austin Milligan. Congrats on improving the channel each day. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying. I've got some really good, really generous patrons, and I keep taking all that money and dropping it back into cameras and microphones and lights and lighting. Although I do have to quick shout out anything you see behind me, I did not purchase myself except for a light that I don't even have on. That came from my highest tier patron, Mark McKeever. Supreme Leader Mark McKeever. He surprised me with that one. These back here came from Jason Mapp. Bobbleheads came from one of my patrons, Troy Whitman. I've got some comics up there from a new creator, the Helix Project, Area 51. I just dropped issue number 3. First time I've ever collected comics. I got some of those from one of my patrons, Darth Billiam. In comic books, all these bobbleheads. This came from one of my people at work, Baby Steve. And this actually just got this in Wednesday night. So yeah, there we go. Oh, and yeah, the whole Top Gun play on Dad, that came from my sister. So I got a few things here, but everything back here came from y'all. So thank you for that. All right. I think I'm got to catch up on the chat. So Danny says, my husband and I go every other year. It's amazing. Agree that wanting till the kids are old will make it more special. Yeah, because I can remember going to Disney World when I was 3. And bless my parents, it couldn't have been that much fun for them because they didn't really get to do anything because they're taught carrying around a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. All right. Dad, Random Andy says hi. Austin Milligan says Harry Potter community is where it's at. Austin, I got to agree. It really is. Ace, Harry Potter fans greater than Star Wars fans. At this point, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Y'all knew my Hagrid moment that I had there after Half-Blood Prince, where I'll not have said that, and that was a horrible. I should have let Robbie Coltrane do that. But yeah, I ought not have said that. Thankfully, the guys are completely lost. They have no clue what's going on. So nothing's spoiled, thankfully. Yes, they have seen Deathly Hallows Part 1. It's currently sitting up on Patreon. It will be coming out later this week to the rest of everybody else. So yes, you can talk Deathly Hallows Part 1 in this chat. You're not going to spoil anything. But we got through that. And I'm going to talk about Hallows Part 2 here in a second. I've got a tour to do tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But Patrick from Germany says, if you're in London sometime, be sure to check out the Warner Brothers studio with mini film set. Oh yeah, that would be great. That would be great. And how in the world did J.K. Rowling miss Sir Patrick Stewart McKellen to play in the Harry Potter films? I really want to know that, because that would have been. I mean, yeah, we got Alan Rickman, and yeah, we got Gary Oldman. I mean, those two on screen together is just amazing. But I would have loved to see Sir Patrick Stewart or Sir Ian McKellen. All right. So Spider Girl's mama says, yep, I've got 2 Spider-Mans. We're Spider-Man fans here. Big Spider-Man fan here. I sub your channel due to Harry Potter reactions. Really been enjoying them. Can't wait for the rest. Yeah, we got some plans. We're cooking up our own little Triwizard tournament, playing around with the graphics. We've got our wands, of course, and I think we're going to have our own little tournament where we try to be stupid and funny and everything nerdy that 40-year-old guys can be. Emily says, congrats. Thank you, Emily. Jay Wolfie, yo, what? I got no notification. I'm sorry, Jay Wolfie. Oh, Jay Wolfie, I'm glad you're here because it just reminded me of something. If y'all look in my community, not my community page, I think my about page, I've got an email there. I am taking video submissions from fans for Harry Potter trivia. If you go back into some of my old videos, once John got through the original Star Wars films, we did a Star Wars trivia session, and we had special trivia, like for the pie pieces for Trivial Pursuit. We had special Trivial Pursuit questions from the fans that we presented to John. Well, in this case, since it's both John and Jason who haven't seen Harry Potter, I'm going to need more video submissions than just say, 6 or 7. So check my email out. If you want to send in a video submission, email it to me, Google Dropbox me, whatever you got to do. I will use as many of those as possible. Keep it appropriate, please. Nothing stupid and inappropriate. I do have, discretion about what we're going to use and not. But we are going to have, after Deathly Hallows Part 2, we're going to have a Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit. I've got that game, and I'm going to sit the guys down. We're going to have a competition, see what they remember, what they know and don't, and we'll be using your video submissions for every time they try to get a pie piece. So Jay Wolfie, glad you popped in because I remember that. Jay Wolfie submitted one on our Star Wars Trivial Pursuit session. All right, let's catch up on the chat. All right. Danny says, my husband told me once, nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. I don't hate Star Wars. I just hate one of them. Does your fandom carry on to Fantastic Beast? Mark, Supreme Leader Mark McKeever's in the chat. Good to see you, Mark McKeever. That came from Mark. Mark, does the fandom carry over to Fantastic Beast? Yes. I honestly try to understand the criticism of Fantastic Beast. I don't get it. One, there's no book source material. So, as much as like I hated Goblet of Fire because I compared book to movie, I don't have anything of Fantastic Beasts or Crimes of Grindelwald to say, well, I compared it to this and they just don't match up. They don't make sense. It's horrible. Why do they do that? It's a completely different medium for a more mature audience. And I rather enjoyed them. I thoroughly enjoyed them and I still enjoy them. I think John and Jason will enjoy them. There were some continuity errors and some retconning of some fan service that I didn't enjoy in Crimes of Grindelwald, but it really doesn't take away from the enjoyability of the film. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought Johnny Depp did freaking awesome in the second one. Mercedes, the Harry Potter fandom is amazing. When I was in school, I would go to an online forum, and we were people from different countries and play a role and pretend to be in the Harry Potter world. Yeah, yeah. Nerdy nerd. I D&D on Sunday nights, and I've actually my entire life I've never gotten to play D&D. I've always had to manage or DM, as they call it, games. And for the first time ever, I've actually got one of my patrons, Troy, is a DM for D&D. Does a great job, and allowed me to roll up a character and play. Jason plays, I play. Another guy named Patrick. Evidently, we collect Patricks. And a really good friend, Chris, and Jason's brother-in-law, who we give all kinds of different names. We call him everything from Garrett, but it's Garrett. And we play D&D. But when it comes to the role-playing thing, it's very, very inclusive. You get to hang out with friends. About the new open world game, Harry Potter, coming out next year. I want to play that. Oh, what do you say to people who say you spilled some of it in the last one? So, Sam, that's a very good question. Now, from the get-go, what separates our reactions from, say, other reaction channels is I have seen them and I've read the books, and I'm there to fill in the holes from the books at the end of each reaction. And from day one, we have always gone back and said, this is what was in the book, and this is what they left out of the movie. So to those that got upset about what I shared after Half-Blood Prince, I understand the upset. I will say 90% of what I shared, not spoilers. I should have absolutely shared the list of Horcruxes to stay true to what we're doing. It makes no sense, even if you haven't read the books. How in the world are they trying to find the Horcruxes in the next one? It makes no sense. Deathly Hallows isn't called, kind of like John made the joke, Goblet of Fire is not called Cedric Diggory in the Goblet of Fire. After Cedric Diggory died, John's like, well, it ain't Cedric Diggory in the Goblet of Fire. It's Harry Potter in the Goblet of Fire. Number 7 is not called Harry Potter and the Hunt for the Horcruxes. The revelation is not about the Horcruxes. That was handled in Half-Blood Prince, where I completely Hagrid moment, ought not have said that, screwed up, is when I mentioned the scar. Now, some of the people in the comments thought that me mentioning the scar meant something completely different that the guys have no idea about because I banned them from the comments. I'm not letting them read the comments because that will definitely spoil. But I should never have told them anything about the scar. Ever, ever, ever. Completely screw up. 100% my fault. No excuse. Yeah, after you've read the books and seen the movies as many times as I have, you start looking at it as one giant story and you can't really chop off where one ends and the other begins. And my timeline was completely screwed up. So mea culpa, my fault, 100%. Tick some folks off. Some folks wanted to unsubscribe. That's cool. I'm not going to, argue with you and tell you can't. I mean, do what you want. If you find entertainment and value here, I'm glad you're here. If not, I'm sorry. I didn't want to ruin anything for anybody. But if you have been watching the guys, they got no clue what's going on. So it's not ruined. The big reveal, in my opinion, about the last movie or movies is the Deathly Hallows and who has them, and the ultimate revelation of a certain major character who we're still waiting to find out about. So all that being said, if you're happy, great. If you're not, I'm sorry. Mea culpa. All right. So last weekend, let's catch up. Pat McCabe. Hey, there's one of my mods, Pat McCabe. Pat McCabe said weekend before Halloween. Can't wait for your It reaction. We will be watching that Wednesday night. So I do need to quick. We are taking a break from Harry Potter, not for a long time, but tomorrow I go tour the local theater, the Capitol Theater, to see if the venue is going to work for us. I am going to rent out a theater for a private viewing of Harry Potter Deathly Hallows 2. And we're going to be inviting more than just John and Jason. It's going to be their families, my family. We're going to try to have as many people there as we can because, hey, why not rent out a theater? You may as well let folks enjoy it on the big screen. And, of course, I'll be filming the reaction, with the three of us kind of probably toward the front of the theater being able to see it. it's a unique theater. It's not your typical like AMC theater. This is like a local theater, so it's a bit of a smaller venue, but it still has the big projection. And I think it would be amazing for them to see the finale on the big screen. So I can't rent that until after Halloween. The place is booked up 2 or 3 weeks at a time. I'm going to be renting it in November. We haven't picked a date yet because I have to go meet the marketing director tomorrow, tour and see if that's going to work out, bring my camera, do some lighting tests. But I will definitely keep y'all posted. So in the meantime, Halloween's coming up. We've got It to film. You know, Patrick watches scary films, and y'all got me on that when we voted on that. No one told me that there was an It Chapter 2, that it's a 2-part movie. So now you get 2 scary movies out of me. You got me. Man, I don't do scary films well. But yeah, that's what's going on, Pat McCabe. Let's see. Harry Potter fans can be very special. Yes, yes. It would be awesome to go down to Christopher Nolan Lane and watch his masterpiece. My personal favorite movie is directed by, The Prestige was great. So hype for part 2. Ace edits. I wonder which one you hate. Yeah, Ace. Talking about Star Wars. Oh no, I don't stream D&D. I don't stream that. Sorry, Swag. I don't stream that. That's a private. I do that on Sunday nights privately. I go over to Troy's house and we play D&D with the guys. Mercedes says, I think they're doing Fantastic Beasts a really good job. Mark McKeever, obviously you have the Harry Potter books, but do you collect early editions of said books? So Mark, what I've been wanting to collect, I used to have a collection and I lost them years ago in a move. And I would collect the different covers from different countries. If you look at like Philosopher's Stone in different countries, the covers for the books all look differently. I think some of my favorite art were the ones that dropped in the Czech Republic. And I would collect the Philosopher's Stone book from the different countries. I had about 30 different ones. And I love the different translations in the artwork, the way it looks. But I've since lost those. All right. Andy's got to get ready for church. Andy, have a good day at church, brother. Thanks again on the 3,000. Cackleana Griffin. Sometimes you forget what happens in some of the books and what happens. Yeah, I do, man. I read so many books. It's not funny. I think one year I set a goal of how many books I was going to read, and I read, it was 108 in 1 year. I don't nearly read that many now, but I still read quite a bit. Emma says, she wish she had more friends to play D&D with. Yeah, it's kind of hard to set up, but there is, Emma, that I found there's a huge online forums like with Roll20 where it's all digital. You might want to reach out and grab some folks there. John Bell. Oh, John's in the chat still. That's right. John says he's going through the first book and there's so much to talk about. Oh, you said it, John. The first book. Wait till we get to book 4. Like book 3, the first 2 into the book. But book 3, 4, especially going on, there is so much left out. You're missing so much with Ginny. Ginny Weasley gets way undersold. They do Ron wrong in the movie. So I'm glad that John and Jason really like Ron. And they completely undersell the role of Hagrid and the Giants and the house elves. That's very important. All right. Whoa. Ton of chats. So Austin says, always feel very blessed and fortunate to be born in 95 and grow up with Harry, and that would be that world to be immersed in. So yeah. If y'all saw my first Harry Potter reaction with the guys, you find out how I got into Harry Potter. I was in the military and I just went to the movie so I could see a Star Wars trailer. I didn't even care about Harry Potter. I didn't know what it was, and fell in love with it. So Danny was only introduced to Harry Potter in 2015. Never got to see him in theater. Yeah. So Darjeeling says, probably one thing you should probably tell them that Snape is just like 38 in the current film. I love Alan Rickman. It's just he doesn't. Yeah, Alan Rickman looks a little bit old. Yeah, he's just 38. Of course, he was old. Just joined the Patreon. Yeah, Megan says just joined the Patreon. I had an exam today, so watching that tonight will be my. There you go. All right, cool, Megan. Welcome to the little Patreon family. That Mercedes says the idea of the theater is amazing. I remember going with her mom because she was the one that bought you the first book. That's awesome. Oh, Jay Wolfie, Patrick, I got to see Dune, especially as you've read the books. Yes, I have read all the Frank Herbert books. I have seen the original Dune. I appreciate what the original Dune movie tried to do, but the medium just didn't work. It was ahead of its time. way ahead of its time. Kind of like Clash of the Titans, the original stop motion action film, way ahead of its time, but still a good film. It hasn't stood the test of time. I feel the same way about the original Dune. It just did not stand the test of time. Technology wasn't there to film it right. So I have not seen the new Dune. You're probably not going to spoil it for me because I know the story. But I am very excited to watch that. My wife and I will be probably watching that together. Oh, Kate's in the chat. Theater experience be great. Oh, you saw Kate. Kate says she saw part 2 in 3D. I know that my father and mother saw it in 3D, and I know my dad said that I think his favorite part was feeling like he was right in the middle of the epic battle at the end there, like between the two that were battling. You all know who I'm talking about. Renting in a theater, yeah, it's awesome. Well, it's only awesome because it's actually affordable, mostly affordable. Patrick McCabe said Doom was great. Spider Girl's mom said barely make it through the first Dune book. Hard to read. It's kind of convoluted. The story's all over the place. But I will say, as a fan of the original Dune books, and really the first 3, I've read them all, but after the first 3, it just gets kind of kooky dukes. But I really feel that George R.R. Martin, I'm not going to say stole because there's nothing new under the sun. You're going to be influenced by people. But I feel like George R.R. Martin pulled heavily for his Game of Thrones books. I feel like he pulled heavily from Frank Herbert. Heavily. Like House Atreides and the Starks, to me, are about identical. Mark McKeever still has his Potter-style 3D glasses from the final movie. Now, that is cool. Mercedes is going to see Dune today. That's going to be awesome. Matt C., you're never late. A wizard is never late. He arrives exactly when he means to. How's it going, Matt C.? Matt C. is one of my patrons. Helped me out actually with a commercial he did probably, about a year ago now for the Baby Steve t-shirts. Before we found out Baby Grogu's name was Grogu, me and the guys named him Baby Steve, and it stuck. So if you ever want a Baby Steve shirt or Baby Steve merch, I got a ton of that merch out there that people like picking up. Matter of fact, I think I've even got, oh yeah, my Baby Steve mask. There you go. But love me some Baby Steve. We don't call him Grogu. That's Baby Steve. And what I need to do is get John's face photoshopped into that right there. All right, let's catch up on the chat. So Silas says, what's up? What's up, Silas? Welcome. Gaston says, have you read Maze Runner? Yes. Great book set in a post-apocalyptic future. The first movie is also very good. Yes, I really enjoyed the first movie. I still, whenever I rewatch the trilogy, I really don't watch the trilogy. I just watch the first movie. Love that first movie. Oh, Darth Iskunis. One of my guys has been following me since Star Wars. Can't wait to join the Patreon. Will only be the second patron I've ever joined. Well, thank you. I'm very humbled by that. Get to the live stream on 3K and hope you guys are doing great. Great weekend. Thank you so much, Darth. So here's the thing. I can't thank y'all enough. I said we were going to talk about the 3,000. I started this channel in May or June of 2020. Dropped my first video about July, and it was literally filmed on just this. That's it, literally. Sitting on a couch like this, talking to myself. Horrible production. I kept trying to train myself, teach myself. My wife's a graphic designer, so thankfully I didn't have to drop $700, but we had access to something called Premiere Pro. So I took a bunch of tutorials and learned how to use that. Trying to up the game the more we go. And it took 11 months to reach 1,000. My goal was to do it in a year. We did 1,000 in 11 months. And then it took about 3 months to get to 2,000. And it took 3 weeks to get to 3,000. And that's not, I can't say, oh, it's because I worked so hard. I mean, editing is tedious. It is difficult and intricate. But it's not hard. I mean, we're sitting in front of a TV watching movies. But we hit that because of y'all, which is why I wanted to do the live at a time convenient to catch our friends across the pond, because I wouldn't keep doing this if it wasn't for y'all. Y'all make it fun. The lives are what make it fun too. I need to start doing some more lives. The guys get really energized with that. But thank you. Could not do this without y'all. Would not keep doing it without y'all. We made an agreement in the beginning. One, if this channel ever got in between our friendship, I will burn this channel down in a heartbeat. Period. Don't care. Does not matter to me. My friendships matter more. The irony being is that this channel has actually strengthened our friendship because before we saw each other maybe 3 or 4 times a year, even though we're best friends, just life is life. And we always had excuses and kids and everything else. Now we're being more intentional with our time and we get together. It's fun. We're having a good time. Let's catch up on the chat. Kate says, do you have any predictions for Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore? I do. But my prediction, I've got to say this in a roundabout way without spoiling it for the guys. I'll say that the revelation Grindelwald reveals to a particular character about his lineage, I think is bullcrap. I think it's just a way to manipulate them. I don't think it's legit. I think we're going to get some of the history of the hunt for the Deathly Hallows and obviously build up that whole tension of getting ready for the big battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. Because obviously we see in the Deathly Hallows movie, Grindelwald's not dead. He's been defeated, but he's in wizarding prison. I really want to explore that relationship with Dumbledore and Grindelwald and see how that goes. So get into those secrets a little bit because Dumbledore is a pretty secretive character. But I mean, that's my prediction. I really would like to see Ilvermorny, the American school. I'd really like to see those houses. I did a sorting thing for those houses once when it was Pottermore before it went to Wizarding World, and Pottermore said I was in House Wampus. I guess a big old cat. I don't know, but I'd love to see more about that. Tom Extran, good morning, Tom. One of my patrons just finished the night shift. Oh man, working a night shift. Used to do that. That's rough. Got your days and your nights all flipped upside down. Totally excited for Fantastic Beast. We will be watching. Somebody told me about a Marauders history, like a fan film that was made. We will be watching that when we get done with Deathly Hallows Part 2. And let's see here. Oh yeah, Mark McKeever, 28 patrons. 28 patrons. That is, yeah, it's a blessing. It actually helps out a lot. I work anywhere from 62 to 72 hours a week. And so I have to do all of this in between that. There's several nights I'm sitting up to like 1 a.m. and I should not be because I have to work. But I got to do it when I got to do it. And I don't want to miss out time with my kids. I don't want to be an absent dad. So, the balance is hard. And I mean, ultimately, I would love to be able to devote more time to this. That's the goal, is to be able to pour more time in editing and filming into this. Because right now we can only get together once a week, except on special occasions. Tyler Cooley says, y'all are great. Actually care about the films and want to build a community. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler Cooley, for that compliment. We do care. I care. That's why I want to share this with these guys, because I don't want them to just watch the movies. We're not doing reactions just for reaction's sake. My goal when I did Star Wars reaction with the guys was to get John to like Star Wars and become a fan. And he did. He nearly quit watching Star Wars because of the toxic fans. And then my goal with Harry Potter was to not just make him watch Harry Potter. I didn't think the channel was going to take off with Harry Potter. My goal was to get him to like Harry Potter. I mean, what friends don't want to share their joy and their love with their friends? I want them to enjoy this with me. But actually, John, who didn't even like the first movie, it's because of y'all that really built up that inclusive fandom that made him feel like part of something bigger. And Jason and John are loving it, and they like Harry Potter at this point. They're invested in the characters. Mitch Blouser says, congrats on the 3K. Well, thank you, Mitch. I'll never use the word deserve. I hope nobody ever gets what they deserve, because we really deserve less than probably what we've got. But it is much appreciated. I appreciate the 3,000. Hope we grow more. I really want to. I want to grow more and reach more people. I want people to know that we've got more in common than we have different, and we can disagree and have different opinions about things, and it doesn't make us not friends. That's part of what I love about this Harry Potter community, is it got folks that disagree with me, and it's cool, and they're actually talking to me, messaging me back and forth. Star Wars, if a guy disagrees with me, it's like, you're going to burn in the pits of hell, dude. How dare you even have a YouTube channel? It's like they want me canceled. Which is why I'm converting from Star Wars fandom into Harry Potter fandom. I'm never going to get rid of my Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I always will. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and that'll never stop. but I enjoy sharing fandom with Harry Potter folks more. Excuse me. All right, Austin, kind of fun but random question. Who's your favorite actor and actress? Austin likes Christian Bale, always delivers a gripping performance. All right, so my favorite actor. Whew, that is tough. At this point in my life, I am going to say J.K. Simmons. His performance in Whiplash is perhaps the best performance I have ever seen on a movie. And I did not even want to watch that movie. People over in Discord were begging me to watch that movie, and I did. Oh, we got a super chat we got to get to here. So, well, Audrey, thank you so much for the $13.99 super chat. Says, always so happy to see your Harry Potter videos and can't wait to see what you will watch next. Sorry once for the potentially bad English, and thanks to Google Translation. Love on you all. Hey, Audrey, love you very much. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. And the English is great. I have to use Google Translate at work. I picked the wrong language in college. I'm majored in minor. I'm minored in Chinese, and considered fluent in Chinese. But that fluency rating is based off a third grade reading level. So I mean, how fluent am I really? But I can carry on a conversation in Chinese with customers that come in that speak Chinese, which is maybe once a year in the grand state of Tennessee in the United States. I mean, how many people are going to come into Tennessee speaking Chinese? Like, so many people speak Spanish, and I can't speak a lick of that. So I use that Google translator all the time. And yes, it's not very accurate. Let's catch up on some of these chats. Let's see here. Great friendships and family are everything. That's true. Absolutely true. Really hope to get Johnny Depp stuff figured out. Yeah, I wish they would. Illinois school video from Movie Flame, probably will. Marauders film. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. I haven't seen the Marauders film. I don't want to spoil it for me either. So it's going to be new for me and John and Jason. Will you watch the Everything Great About Harry Potter by Cinema Wins? I think I will. And that's come from Panda. Hey, Panda Hat. Hey, Panda's been around in the chat for a while. Back to Kate. Kate says, do you mean the fan film Severus Snape and the Marauders? Yes, that's the one. That is the one. Adam Driver as a young Snape would be awesome. Yes. Yes. Adam Driver as a young Snape would be absolutely awesome. Tom Extran. Do you think Newt and his affinity for Fantastic Beasts will help Dumbledore defeat Grindelwald? I don't know. I really don't know. I think the Phoenix is going to be involved somehow. And do you think the other guy who loves Fantastic Beasts, Hagrid? Oh, I didn't even think about that. A young Hagrid? Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. Man, Tom, that was a good one, Tom. Cat, looking forward to the Marauders fan. Yeah, okay, yeah. Paula C. Hey, Paula. Paula was my first super chat. Oh, actually, technically not my first. Random Annie was. But when we did the big live, Paula C was the first super chat. So thank you, Paula. I've still got Dr. Peppers in that fridge. Harry Potter fans always very welcoming. Mercedes says I have to go. Hey, Mercedes, thank you for coming by. Appreciate you. Thank you. Glad you were here. Yeah. When you send cancel, all I can think of is a Karen with force abilities. I agree. Whiplash was brutal, but really good. Oh yeah. Hi from Sweden, Lingetson. Matt C. Yes, Mandarin. 我会说一下中文，一下。Austin Million Simmons was awesome in Whiplash, but I think the best performance I saw on screen was either Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood or Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. So, yes, those are both great performances, and I am very aware of and have seen those performances, Austin. I agree that Heath Ledger's Joker in Dark Knight was phenomenal, but I will say you got to go back and watch 1994, The Crow with Brandon Lee, because Heath Ledger, and he even admitted to as much, he channeled much of Eric Draven, the Crow character that Brandon Lee played. He channeled much of those acting devices into playing the Joker. And there actually be a video that I collaborated on with Jeremy Branch, probably dropping on October 30th is his plan. I don't know if it'll be out then because he's got to edit that. That's his, going to be on his channel. And we discuss actually some of that. So yes, and I'm not accusing Heath Ledger of stealing from another actor. We all have inspiration. It's not stealing. It's, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but much of his performance I've seen before. So I don't attribute that to an original, like, oh, that's just naturally Heath Ledger. What it does contribute to me though, is that Heath Ledger is very much a method actor that does his homework and found out what was really going to be best for the character. As far as Daniel Day-Lewis, yes, I thought he was great in There Will Be Blood, but not my favorite part by him by far. My favorite part with Daniel Day-Lewis is actually Last of the Mohicans. You ought to look at the behind the scenes in that because the behind the scenes shows how much he actually learned how to load muzzle rifles while he was running and much again of the method acting. Method actors tend to be really cool. But back to your point there, Austin, if you look at my Letterboxd, you will see, maybe get that up there, that in my top 4, we got The Crow, Return of the Jedi, Count of Monte Cristo, and Last of the Mohicans. So yes, Daniel Day-Lewis is absolutely one of my favorites. Excuse me. A lot of talking there. Mr. Griffin says, broad strokes, the people behind the Marauders fan film are brilliant. I've heard. I can't wait. Adam Driver's Young Snape. Hey, Chief Supreme. Now, Chief Supreme was actually one of my first patrons ever. Chief, it's always good to see you. Mr. Chase Luhan. He's down there on the island of Guam. Last I heard, he was powerlifting and blowing everybody out of the gym. So can Adam Driver do a good English accent? I don't know, but he could sure go to school to learn it. Spider Girl's mama, thanks for stopping by. Sorry you got to go, but life moves on. Will I play and upload Hogwarts Legacy? So I have a huge learning curve on uploading gaming and streaming. I'm going to have to figure that out. I've tried and I've failed. I finally got into Star Wars Battlefront 2, or what is it? Whatever that battle, when the battle, I just started playing that for the first time a couple months ago, and I could not figure out how to stream that thing. I'm really a tech idiot when it comes to it. Holly, hi from England. Hogwarts Legacy looks great. Darjeeling says The Crow was so scary, couldn't sleep for weeks, especially after I found out the actor. Yeah, he did die during filming, and we discussed that in the video with Jeremy Branch. He did die during the filming of that. I've actually been to Brandon's grave, visited that. Yeah, paintings from Francis Bacon, absolutely, Austin. So Langedson, do I know any Swedish? No. Maybe ein bisschen Schweizerdeutsch, but no Swedish. As far as I know, every American thinks that Sweden and Switzerland are the same country. No, they're not. See, I just did the same thing. I just did that. I totally just screwed that up. Last of the Mohicans was awesome. Daniel Day-Lewis and Spielberg's Lincoln. That was a pretty good film. Yeah, The Crow is back in the news after the Alec Baldwin shooting incident. And I'll tell you that the Alec Baldwin shooting incident, that should have never happened. From what I'm reading, there have been complaints and filings of safety reports and staff walking out over, the lack of safety on the set. I feel horrible for Alec Baldwin. Horrible. I can't imagine, I can't imagine what the family's going through with the person that died, but I can't imagine what that's going through for Alec. I mean, that's horrible. I'm going to get off that though. That's some dark stuff. Oh yeah, the score, Last of the Mohicans. To this day, I listen to that sometimes when I need to go to sleep. Tom says, I fully endorse the Marauders film. Cool. We'll be watching that. Eastern Canada from Randy. Cat Webb. I heard somewhere that Robin Williams wanted to be in the Harry Potter films, but J.K. wanted an all-British cast. Yes. Who would Robin Williams have been? Peeves the Poltergeist. Think about that one. Love the fact that you love Harry Potter. The way you talk about it reminds me of me. Well, thank you, Holly. Oh, he wanted to be Hagrid. That's cool. He would have been a pretty good Slughorn. He would have been. Yeah. I would have liked to see more Peeves the Poltergeist. And there's one scene missing in this last one I really, and I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to word this in a way that doesn't spoil it for the guys, but I really, really, when I watched the last movie, wanted to see the scene where Harry makes it back to a certain place and runs into Professor McGonagall, and Professor McGonagall's getting bullied, and Harry handles his business and is very chivalrous towards an abused Professor McGonagall. I wanted that scene, never filmed. That was rewritten, taken out. Don't know why. It was to me so powerful about the character of Harry Potter and the constancy of McGonagall. I would have loved to have seen that. Unfortunately, it's not. I don't think even that he would have been a great Peeves. Okay. All right, Ed, you're at work, brother. Love you, man. Thanks for listening to us on the way to work. Glad you weren't chatting while you were driving. All right, so I've got comments. Oh yeah, comments fan. What do you like about Peeves? I listened to the audiobooks, and anytime he sang or taunted, I cringed. What I liked about Peeves is how he was um, kind of let loose to wreak havoc on Umbridge. That's what I like about Peeves. That's what I miss. I didn't like Peeves really too much throughout the books, but I like I like how he was used to kind of torment Umbridge there. Dumbledore's Big Plan by Super Carlin Brothers. Yes, I have seen Dumbledore's Big Plan by Super Carlin Brothers. Super Carlin Brothers are awesome. And I have to give total credit to them. The whole Umbridge, bleeping out Umbridge, totally goes to Super Carlin Brothers. I was watching that and I'm like, hey, I'm using it. That's funny. I'm using it, but credit to them. That was not my idea. That was their idea. Let's catch up again. Now, Sir Ian, that played Gandalf and Magneto, wanted to play Dumbledore, but Richard Harris said he wouldn't be that good. So after Richard Harris passed away, they went with Michael Gambon. Yes, I read that story. And I mean, Richard Harris is a good actor. I loved him in Count of Monte Cristo, but I mean, why are you going to snipe another actor? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's unprofessional. So Austin says that I'm the first person you know that has Goblet on the bottom of their favorite Harry Potter list. I've always felt the average fan loves that movie because it has some good action and isn't slow. The only thing in that movie that's redeemable to me is the graveyard scene. Were it not for the graveyard scene, I would never watch that movie again. That scene, out of all 8 movies, is probably the most faithfully filmed scene taken from the book. I mean, that scene. And you got to think, when I watched Goblet of Fire, I had just finished watching Red Dragon, the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter, where I saw Ralph Fiennes playing a psychopathic serial killer. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy's playing Voldemort. This is going to be good. So really enjoyed that scene. Mark McKeever asked, do you like editing, or do you see having others doing that work for you? Maybe a student for the experience. Okay, Mark. So this is where I struggle. Like as a manager at my job, my biggest struggle is letting go of things, letting go of tasks, and allowing my team to fail. I mean, people had to let me fail to learn, because you always think you can do it better if you've been the one doing it. I would very much like to be able to hire an editor. One, they're not cheap, but 2, I've been saving up money from Patreon. That's actually probably what's running the theater. I would like to hire somebody to edit, but it always concerns me that they're not going to put in what I want, or they'll leave something out that I really wanted, or put something in I didn't care to. That scares me. I enjoy editing when I have the time to edit. For me, it's fun. I like the technical aspect of that, but it can also be very tedious. So it's one of those things where at some point I'm going to have to let it go. I'm going to have to hire out some editing. I'm going to have to. And I may or may not like it, but yeah, like a student, that would be great. If there's a student that wanted some experience to gain some experience, I absolutely 100% would give that a try. Obviously, I would have final discretion about whether I even release that to the public, but I need to try that to free up some of my time for more filming. Austin, have Goblet last because of all the reasons. Okay, yeah. I mentioned director's vision was way off. So Kate says Goblet of Fire used to be my favorite film before I read the books. Oh yeah, a lot of people that hadn't read the books, that's usually what I hear from them. Do I think I would ever do a Harry Potter tier list? Well, I didn't, but now I will. You said it. Comics fan, because we are going to do a tier list for the movies with the guys. We'll do a tier list for the characters, and we'll watch a couple shorts like the Snape and the Marauders, and we're going to try to film our Triwizard Tournament. Might be a one-parter, might be a three-parter, but that's a three-potter. See what I did there? But that's going to be a lot of editing, a whole lot of editing. Goblet of Fire should have been a two-part movie. Dumpster fire. Goblet of Fire is a dumpster fire. Oh, hey, what is that? Rishinim. Congratulations. Finally got, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Robin Williams would have made a great Peeves. I think he would have definitely been who he would have played. The reason they didn't is because the actor was a distraction. Yeah, it really was. Yeah, Peeves is a distraction to the kids. Director for Goblet of Fire. Yes, Kate, I did know that. Didn't even read the books. I mean, how are you not going to do that? How are you not going to do that? You know who else did that crap? Didn't even look at the movie. Didn't even go back and watch the history. Didn't even care about it or reading the source material. You know who else did that in a movie? You guys know where I'm going with this, right? Ryan Craig Johnson, Last Jedi. Didn't care what came before. He's going to write his own good story. Yeah, that's why that was a dumpster fire. Sorry, a little sensitive about that movie. There are some people that love it, and I'm happy they love it. I really am. I'm not mad that people like Last Jedi. I just can't stand it. Same thing with Goblet of Fire. If people enjoy it, Jason enjoyed it. Jason likes Goblet of Fire. Doesn't upset me that he likes it. I don't think he's stupid for liking it. I'm not going to like it. I tried it. It's like pickles. Once a year, I try a pickle just to see if maybe my taste buds change and I like a pickle, but I'm never going to like a pickle. Pickles are from the devil. I don't like pickles. I'll never like Goblet of Fire. It's a big old nasty pickle. All right. Well, I think I'm getting ready to wrap this up. We've been on the live stream for 50 minutes. I've got 40 of y'all here in the chat, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I did promise a live. I just wanted to say thank you because I would not be here without y'all. Have you seen Maze Runner or plan to read? We have all seen Maze Runner. Oh, well, actually, I need to ask the guys. I've seen it. They haven't. We are probably going to be doing, what do you call it? Hunger Games. They have not seen Hunger Games. So Pickle Rick. Oh, golly. Pickle Rick. Patrick, you know what's crazy about that is people used to call me Rick in school. Yeah. I actually love The Force Awakens and Last Jedi, but Rise of Skywalker was good. Yeah, it was garbage. No, we did not do Whiplash on the channel. I did not do that on the channel. I had some guys in my Discord beg me to watch it, and I watched it. That if someone is hired to direct a film, they should be required to. Yes, they should be. So yeah, Rick is weird. Well, people kept trying to call me Pat, and I hate being called Pat, so I just dropped the Pat and left it Rick, and then I could never get rid of the Rick nickname. Ridiculous Ed Tollett has enjoyed every Star Wars movie so far, but his least favorite scene in all of Star Wars comes from Last Jedi. Oh, Canto Bite. That was a waste, wasn't it? Darjeeling, you're welcome for the European live chat. I'm glad it fit with y'all's schedule. Megan, thanks for stopping by. I'm getting ready to wrap this up anyway, so you stuck around. Appreciate it. Thank you. The kids for Halloween, they're still a bit too young for it. I don't think they're going to be participating this year, maybe next year. Yeah, Austin, thank you for that, Austin. I think I'd rather you call me Umbridge than Pat. But anyway, before we get off of the Star Wars tangent, because I'm seeing the Star Wars chats, thank you for the 3,000. I love you, 3,000. Y'all are absolutely awesome. Reactions aren't done. We've got some Harry Potter to do. I'll keep you posted on when we do the theater reaction. We're going to be watching it on Wednesday night. I'll be getting that out hopefully before Halloween. And I'm probably going to be doing a top 10 things you didn't know about The Crow to coincide with the video Jeremy's dropping over on his channel. Jeremy Branch, movies are terrible. Make sure you check him out. He's got some awesome Crow t-shirts out for the season. Emma Roberts just woke up to see it. Hey, it's all good, Emma. You can watch it and replay. I'm sorry you missed the chat, but I'm glad you're here. So peace out, everyone. Thank you so much for making Harry Potter so awesome for my friends and so awesome for me. Thank you. And thank you for the 3,000. Love you guys. Always stay nerdy with it.